Previously, we started on fractions on 15th of February, and we talked about some ideas of how division can be represented by fractions. So the concept of having something shared with people, okay, there's this part on dividend, divisor, and quotient. The idea that I can have 8 pizzas divided by 2 people, that 2 people share it, get 4 pizzas each, it can be 8, represented as a fraction like this. Okay, so then we move on to how we can express the fraction from division to mixed number and improper fractions. Okay, now we move on. We are going to start this portion on, then we went on to addition and subtraction of fractions and mixed numbers. Okay, and the mixed numbers part is with the calculator. So today we are going to move on to this big part about multiplication. You realize in your textbook at the cover, at the contents page, there's this whole big portion about multiplying fractions and then fraction of the remainder. So today I'm going to talk about the whole of this multiplication. All right, I'm going to talk this whole thing about multiplication in today's lesson. Okay, now I'll start this one here and this one here. You can also start in your own book. These two are the only parts of fraction that you can use the calculator. That means it will appear in the paper 2 of your exam and of your exam. Because they involve mixed number, you'll be allowed to use calculator. Other than that, all this is without calculator. So we need to be able to solve all this without a calculator. Can you understand? Okay, now, so I'm going to talk about all this at one go. There's a shortcut to remember all of this. Okay? That is, when I have multiplied all these things, you see, the first one is proper and whole number, improper fractions, proper fractions, and improper and improper. That makes number and whole number. All these terms. So I write down in my book here. All these different terms, what do I know? So I have number 1, a whole number. Everybody know what whole numbers are, right? They stand for the whole thing. I make myself focus as well. Okay, good. Okay, so I wrote down the different things. Under the chapter of fraction, multiplication, and then I put fractions here. It can involve, in this portion of multiplication of fractions, it can involve these few things. The first one is whole numbers. Most of us have no issues with that. The second identity that is here inside the book here is called proper fraction. So we know that fractions means there's a numerator and a denominator. So for proper fraction, it means that the numerator, and denominator. For proper fractions, it means that a numerator is a smaller number compared to the denominator. Can you understand? For example, Proper fractions are smaller. You can have half, you can have 4/8, you can
12 out of 25. These are all proper fractions.
all proper fractions. Meaning, sorry? Meaning all the numerators are smaller than the denominators. Okay, then there is the third kind. The third kind is what called the improper fraction. Okay. Can you see me now? Yeah. Right. So the next one is improper fraction. Improper. Improper means the numerator and denominator. Denominator. Yes. Improper means the denominator is smaller than the numerator. Meaning, for example, 2 wholes. I can express 2 wholes as 2 over 1. You can say that this is an improper fraction. I can have 22 thirds, 14 fifths. So all these are improper fractions. 2 wholes is improper. I can say 9 thirds, that's also improper. 9 thirds will give me 3 wholes. So these are all improper fractions. Okay, then the next one, next identity, it will be mixed number. Okay, now I'm talking about primary 5 identities for multiplication. Of course, there are other fractions, unit fraction, like fraction, equivalent fraction. You remember? Unit fractions, like fraction, equivalent fraction. Sounds familiar? Those are primary 3 ideas. I'll tell you a little bit more later, okay? So mixed number refers to, I have a whole number part together with a fraction part, a proper fraction part. So I have a mix, that means I mix them together. So for example, whole number will have, again, 2 and 1/8. Like this one, 23, 21, 22 thirds. 22 thirds is 7 wholes and 1 third. So mixed number means I have a whole number and mixed with a proper fraction. Okay, so in this part of primary 5, this whole section of multiplication of fractions, it can be any of these multiplied together. I can do whole number times proper fraction, whole number times improper fraction, whole number times mixed number. I can do proper fraction times proper fraction times improper fraction, proper fraction times mixed number. Improper fraction times mixed number, improper fraction times improper fraction. Can you understand what I'm saying? As straightforward as it is, this is all the things that can happen for multiplication of fractions. Okay? Now, just like I said, there are other type of fractions that you will hear of, other types of fractions. You will hear like unit fractions. Unit fraction is when the numerator is 1. Like half, 1/3, 1/8, 1/5. These are unit fractions. That means 1 unit of each type. Can you understand? Then we talk about like fractions. Like fractions means they are like similar. They have the same kind of denominator. So like 4/8, 3/8, 5/8. They are like fractions. Then we have equivalent fractions. So equivalent fractions they are related to each other. Like for example, half is equals to 4/8 equals to 3/6 equals to 12/24. So these are the other type of fractions which will be encompassed within all these other types already. Okay? Okay, so the main ones we are talking about at primary 5 is that we are going to do multiplication for all these identities. So like just now I said, I can do whole number times proper, proper times improper, proper times proper, improper times mixed number. Okay? All right, so it can be any of those multiplication. Okay, now I move on. So to deal with all multiplication for fractions, there's two things to remind yourselves. Two tips to last the whole of the chapter. Okay? Tip number 1. Okay? Two tips to last. Remember GET? Yes. Group each total. So in doing all multiplication questions, including especially word problems, you just ask yourself, is there a word, is there a part of the story that shows group? That means it's group. Is there a part of the story that means it's each and total? Okay, so for multiplication, usually we are looking for the total. So if you read a word problem at one go, you see fraction, you feel scared, calm yourself down first. Like I said, when you read a word problem, take the fraction out of the story and just read the story as it is. See whether you can identify which one is the group, which one is the each. Now, next tip. This tip to win all multiplication of fraction, the shortcut. When I do a multiplication of anything, be it whole number, proper, improper, mixed number, I can always remember when I have a certain fraction, numerator over a denominator, this is one fraction. Multiply by anything, it will be, let's say, another fraction. Will be, I will numerator times numerator, denominator times denominator. Shortcut to remembering, not the shortcut to solve. If you ask me if there are shorter ways to solve a problem, yes, this method might not be the shortest way, but it's the shortest to remember. When all else, like I told you previously, when you solve a problem, when all else fails, do guess and check. So when all else fails for multiplication, remember this. Numerator denominator, numerators are numerator divided by over denominators are denominator. Yes. They're just join in again. It's a Wi-Fi problem. You turn on and turn off the Wi-Fi, then you join in again. Okay. Can understand? So, tip number 3. Ask yourself, can simplify? All right. So these are my 3 tips for all problems. All of these are all of this. All these pages from 65 all the way to even 82 or 83. All these problems, ask yourself these 3 things. Okay, or memorize just these 3 things. Tip number 1, group each total. Tip number 2, numerator times numerator divided by over denominators and denominator. Number 3, can simplify. That's all. Okay, so let's look at some examples. So, for example, if I do, okay. So, for example, if I do, yeah, I'll show you example right away. If I do say, okay, you can write it down in your notebook. Later, I give you the worksheet, you copy inside. Okay. For example, this is, are you able to say what is this? This is a proper fraction times whole number. Whole number. 62 is a whole number. So for this question, this is a whole number. Okay. Now, multiply, give your answer as a mixed number in the simplest form. This is a proper fraction times a whole number. I can straight away choose 2 ways. You copy it down, I'll write it here. Later, you decide what to write in your own worksheet. Is that okay? So I have 2 ways here. Number 1, I ask myself, can I simplify first? All right. Let me do this one first, because I have a clearer example. So if I do straight away, 3/4 times 38, I can do 38 wholes. So I will just put it as over 1. And I can go straight away, 3 times 38 divided by 4 times 1. So 38 times 3 will be 114 over 4. Then I need to simplify this into mixed number in simplest form. Okay, I can write 114 divided by 4. This will be 2, 8, 3, 4, 8, 32, 2. So I make it bigger bit. Can see? So the answer will be 28 wholes and 2 quarters, which I can simplify further to 28.5. So this is the answer, final answer. Okay, so this one I do by the method numerator times numerator over denominator times denominator. Now, option 2. I do it by can I simplify first? Okay, then I'll ask myself. Same thing, I write 3/4 times 38. Can I simplify first? Answer is yes. I can divide 4 by 2, I get 2. And 38 divided by 2 will give me 19. So the answer will be 19 times 3. $57 and half. Which will also give me, if I do 57 divided by 2, it will give me 28.5. Same thing. Now, if you can see, can you see? Can you see now? I'll make a bit bigger. One way here, in blue, I just do numerator times numerator divided by denominator times denominator. I express 38 put 38 as a fraction. Numerator times numerator, no calculator is allowed for this part. Okay, there's no mixed number here, right? Divide over denominator and denominator. Now, there's this part that's a bit more challenging. This one is straightforward, but can you see there's more steps? The numbers are bigger. If I choose to ask myself, can I simplify first? Can you see the number of steps are lesser? But there's this challenge of, do I know how to simplify accurately? Okay? No. Now I want you to choose. Which one are you going to do? Okay? Okay, just Amara. Anybody want to help me give up? Okay. Did I make a mistake? Oh, it doesn't say she use a calculator and it says that I calculated wrongly. Let me use a calculator and check instead. Okay, I can use the calculator check. It's correct. Okay. Maybe you press the button. Okay. Hey, where's equal to? I saw equal to just now. Where's equal to? What do you mean? Which is it? Okay, wait on answer now. Yeah. Okay. Okay, have you written it down? So this one is, everybody, can you read to yourself? Proper fraction times whole number. Proper fraction times whole number. This is page number 74. Huh? You mean this one? Page 74. 38 wholes. So 38 divided by 1 is 38 wholes. So I to be able to remember it easily, I'll put it as 38 over 1. The 1 is 38 divided by 1 is just 38. So it's 38 wholes. Okay? Okay, so now it can also be understood in the same way on the question on this side. Like this one here, I can do straight away. I'm going to do this one first. I can do this straight away as 1 times 62, then divide by 3. But there's nothing in the denominators, can write it as 3 and it is. Okay, then with 62 it will be 20 wholes and 2/3. Now, if I were to ask myself, can I simplify? Then it will be like 1/3 times 62 wholes, right? Can I simplify? No, actually I can't. I can't simplify anything. 62 is not divided by 3, divisible by 3. So I'll do numerator times numerator divided by denominator times. Sorry? What thing? You are P5. You are P5 now, and I'm seriously telling you, I only have 30 minutes left. Okay? You'll be the responsible person that you can be. Now, so this one here on page 2, are you able to get both of them? Okay, I wrote, you don't have to copy everything. You need to choose. Okay? Which one you understand best? Okay, later when we go into the problem, then you understand. Okay? Never mind, you don't understand, you write down first. Okay? The part of understanding will come in a bit later. Okay? So A is I, and then 28/2 is E. I'm not in this question, I'm going to this question in a short while. Can everybody? Now I want to go backwards a bit to help Achilles understand how come, and not just Achilles, many of you, why this works and how this works. Okay? Now I move back. Move back all the way to page number 71. Okay? I'm all the way back to page 71 now. And I'm going all the way back to, at primary 4, we learned fraction of a set. Now, why does this work? Let's look at this one. Here the question says 71. Circle the number of groups in each diagram to find each answer. Now, the first one here shows the example, 2/3 of 9. You can think of it as this. I can say that there are 9 children, let's say for example, and if I were to say 2/3 of the 9 children are boys, so what does it mean? You can see 2/3 of 9 children are boys. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There are 9 children. When I say 2/3 of the 9 children are boys, I can say that if you are not able to do the writing, you put the composite. You help our friend do the writing. If not able to do the writing, keep the composite. Now, I'm going to move on because we have really a limited time. So imagine I have 9 children are boys. It's like saying I can put these children into 3 groups. 1, 2, and 3. But all of these, say 3 groups, only 2 of them, 2 groups are boys. So this, actually there are 3 groups. But these 2 groups are boys. And say this is girls. So in the textbook that I asked you to do yesterday, it shows you the unitary method. That means I can say 3 units in all are 9 children. So 1 unit refers to 3 children. And I want 2 units, because 2 units are boys, 2 out of 3. So 2 units is 2 times 3 equals to 6. Now this is how the story goes. So when I look at it, 2/3 of 9, I can do 2/3 times 9. When I simplify like this, cancel, cancel. Can you see where's the 2 and where's the 3? The 3 is here and the 2 is here. I get 6. So this is how the shortcut works. But what exactly are you doing? You are actually doing 9 divided by 3 times 2, which is here. 9 divided by 3 times 2. So this working step is actually a shortcut. Now, but this simplifying step sometimes is hard to remember. So what do we do is that we can actually do 2 times 9 and then put it 3 times 1, which is 18 divided by 3, which also gives you 6. Which means by the order of operations, instead of dividing by 3, I times 2 first. Then I divide by 3. Does it make it sound better, Akhilesh? Yes? Better than looking at very dry this one. Why? You cannot understand why. It's because there's a missing story behind it. So like this case, 5, 6, or 12. I need 6 groups. So if I were to put them in 6 groups, it looks like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 groups. But no, I don't want 6 groups. I only want 5 out of 6. So it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just this. Can you understand? Now, what will be the answer? I can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So the answer will be 10. I can write as 5, 6 times 12. I can simplify. Cancel. 1, 2, 5 times 2 equals 10. I can understand as 5 times 12 divided by 6 times 1. That will give me 60 divided by 6, also 10. I can understand by saying, for example, there are 6 units. 6 units is 12. 1 unit is 2. 5 units is 5 times 2. That's also 10. So you can see here, there are 3 different ways how I did it. Number 1, the cancellation. The cancellation is simplifying it. Essentially, what are we doing? We are actually doing 12 divided by 6, 10 times 5, the number of groups I want. But sometimes it's a bit difficult to remember. The shortcut way to remember is I just do numerator times numerator, denominator times denominator. It gets me the answer also. But the number is a bit harder to manage. Now, so there are 3 methods here. The key challenge at primary 5 is actually I need to study the problem. Sometimes this works better. Sometimes this doesn't work at all. I need to do this. Sometimes this is the best method. You need to know all 3. Now, then I told you the tip just now. If you really find it very challenging, cannot remember, go to this one. It's the easiest to remember. May not be the easiest to solve. But the important is I need to decide which one is the best. That is what is challenging at primary 5. So so you circle page 71, DIY, 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 DIY. Okay, move on, page 72. So on page 72, the story comes to actually, the truth is, fractions can become more enjoyable when there is a story. Such as this one here. This is page 72. You will notice, look, here. Wow, the number is so big. Is it a good idea to draw? No. 560, you draw circle until very, very difficult. So it's very hard. I will probably choose to simplify first. It's not the number so big. You know what I'm talking about? So let's say I do this one. If I were to simplify 1/4 of 16, divided by 4 is 4. Answer is 4 already. See, so fast. The waistline, yeah, the next one is also pretty easy. So if I do simplifying, I can simplify 15 divided by 5 is 3, the answer is 9. Very fast. Compared to if I choose to do 45 divided by 5 is also 15. Unitary method will be a long so I say 5 unit is 15, 1 unit is 3, 3 unit is 9. It is also get you the answer. Now, then you go and try the rest. Okay? Okay. Now, the story becomes a little bit more helpful and meaningful to help you decide which one works. So you really have to ask yourself, when I read the problem, how do I understand it? Can I understand it by unitary? Can I understand it by just it is as it is? So for example, here says the one on this one, I put DIY, okay? Because this one is easier. I'll do the path one, because the fraction, you see the fraction, it's a unit fraction. So this one, any 3 methods are all easier because it's a unit fraction here. Now, so for question 4, I read the question. Okay, if really cannot, take the fraction out, read it first. Some paths are curry paths. The rest are sardine paths. So I know already, some are curry, some are sardine. Altogether is 32 curry paths. How many? 32 curry paths. So this one is 32. How many paths did he made in all? Okay, when I look at this question, I have curry path, I have sardine path, I have all the paths. The question asks for all the paths. I have curry is 32. But I don't know sardine. But I have a fraction here. The fraction is 7. So all the paths, I can also draw a model to help you understand better. I have all the paths here. Seven units. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 units. These are all the curry paths. All the paths, sorry. Then 4 units is curry path. Curry. This one is sardine. Curry is 32. Then this one I will say, I think unitary method is the best. Okay, can. If you can get the same answer, it really depends on your understanding. If you understand it differently, you will do it differently. Okay, so the curry is actually 4 units. 4 units is 32 parts. So 1 unit is 32 divided by 4, that's 8 parts. So altogether, you have 7 units. So it's 7 times 8, answer is 56. He made 56 parts altogether. So this case, I use unitary. 4 units were curry puff. So 1 unit is 8. Or is 56. Okay. 11.9 really. I want to talk about if let's say I use this. The other method for 3. Okay. So let's say I do the hairpin question. Can I go back? If you cannot catch up, you go back and test the video. Everything is recorded. So here got hairpins, a collection of hairpins. Some are red and the rest are black. Okay. Okay. So I have red, I have black, and I have all. All is given, all is 36. Question asked for black. Okay. Red actually never say. It's only given a fraction. Ask for black. So I can do this in 2 ways. First, if I don't do unitary, I can use unitary also. Unitary is also very easy. But let's say I use fraction. Okay. So 1/6 is red. So black will be 1 whole minus 1/6. That is 6/6 minus 1/6 will give you 5/6. So for black, I can do 5/6 times 36. Simplify. Answer is 30. Okay? Okay. Now, 72, you still have 2 blanks here. I go home and watch the video, okay? Go and watch the video. No. 73. I don't know. You go home and watch the video. The bell ring already. Ryan, catch this up. 73 also, please give it a try. Use the 3 things that I told you. Number 1, ask yourself, can simplify or not? Number 2, cannot simplify. Numerator times numerator divide over denominator times denominator. Okay? Homework until page 74. Okay? Now. Listen. Catch the YouTube video for page 75 during the March holidays. Thank you very much. Hello, do you hear me? Page 75, check out YouTube for the video. Page 71 to page 75. Yes. So tomorrow there is an additional item on SLS. Will be a simpler one, not so complicated. Short and simple. On the SLS, I will attach 2 bits onto it. Okay. So not very heavy task, small task. Okay, do you get it? 71 to 75 catch on YouTube. Okay. Person in the middle, help to keep. Thank you. It's outside. Okay, thank you, everybody. Have a good holiday. Yeah, we will not finish under pressure remainers and not too much already. Okay, until page 75 only, Amara.